Protect your online privacy today at expressvpn.com/inside.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Monday. Let's talk about Ubisoft. I don't know if I want to clap. The developer that loves making video games and pretending that bad news doesn't exist, particularly when that bad news involves sexual harassment allegations. Ooh, oopsie. To give credit, they did take action on these allegations, but they were noticeably silent about the whole situation at their biggest event of the year.
They didn't pull a Blizzard and have someone come out and cry about it.
Yep.
But yeah, you might have seen Ubisoft's Forward presentation yesterday where they unveiled and talked about a handful of new games in the works, which is good because Ubisoft has gone through quite the dry spell over the last year, game-wise, so it was a good chance to roll out everything they've been working on.
We'll talk about that a bit later, but for now, let's talk about the giant elephant in the room, the thing that Ubisoft avoided in their giant presentation. Leading up to that big presentation, 3 executives stepped down in the wake of company-wide harassment allegations. For a while now, there have been reports in the press that Ubisoft ignored complaints of sexual misconduct and had a culture of harassment, which seems to be the norm in these video game companies.
Yes.
So that's good.
This one is particularly crazy, though. This is like Riot times 10.
Times 10?
Kotaku interviewed a dozen former and current employees at Ubisoft's Toronto office and said they described a culture that undervalues women's contributions, normalizes sexism and harassment, and makes excuses for the worst offenders while complaints about them go unheeded.
The informant was a rapper named Snow. You might have heard of him.
Oh my god.
And Gamasutra came out with its own story at the beginning of the month with reports of misconduct at multiple Ubisoft studios and customer support centers across the world. Just real top to bottom sliminess.
Yeah, Gamasutra's report was even more damning. They described Ubisoft as being run like a mafia with family members accused of misconduct, but getting shielded from consequences and acting with impunity.
Yeah, so that's a yikes. You never want your company to be compared to the mafia. I think we can pretty easily say that. This weekend, Ubisoft dropped the hammer, and now some top employees are stepping down. They include Chief Creative Officer Serge Haskell, Global Head of HR Cecil Cornet, and Yanis Malay. My life. And Yanis Mala, who was managing director of Ubisoft's Canadian studios, where a lot of the harassment allegations have been coming from.
In all, a total of 4 executives have stepped down in the last week. Earlier last week, Ubisoft said that its vice president, Maxime Bellon, was leaving, also related to assault allegations. Bellon resigned after reports came out about him allegedly choking a female employee at a work party.
Holy shit, dude.
What the?
These guys. What makes you think that's okay?
And we should note that some of these people weren't directly accused of like harassment, but like in the case of the HR lady, it's kind of something you probably should have acted on and you didn't. So, or you're sort of accused of like this happening while you were managing a studio, so you should have known.
Also at a work party, like what was everyone else doing? Were they just like, oh, that's Maxime.
Yeah, basically
choking women again.
A lot of the allegations are that these VPs were just considered untouchable. Another VP, Tommy Francois, has been put on leave. So yeah, it was a major house cleaning at Ubisoft.
Tommy Francois is obviously an alias. That is a fake
Yeah,
name.
that's
No
not
one.
real.
Tommy Francois, the Frenchman.
There was me, Tommy Francois, Joey Italian, and Michael Irish.
The best musical.
And who could forget Yusuf Turkey? Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier, friend of the show, called Hesco the most powerful creative force at Ubisoft, while also being at the center of multiple recent allegations involving abuse and abating abusers.
He said basically Haskell by himself could greenlight or kill a project.
Never give any one person that much
No
power.
one Haskell should have all that power.
In a statement, Ubisoft said that Haskell will be replaced by CEO Yves Guillemot in the interim. They also said that Guillemot will personally oversee a complete overhaul of the way in which the creative teams collaborate.
As for Malat, who is managing director of Ubisoft's Canadian studios, the company said that the recent allegations that have come to light in Canada against multiple employees make it impossible for him to continue in this position, now that they've come to light publicly. Cornet, who is the global head of HR, decided to step down from this role as she believes it is in the best interest of the company's unity. According to the French publication Libération, Cornet has been accused of inadequately responding to the allegations as head of human relations.
Yeah, if you're head of HR during this disaster, it's probably time time to go. Sounds like Ubisoft has
Get
one of
outta
those
here.
cool management loyal human resources teams.
It's not to protect the rest of the humans, it's to protect two humans.
Don't worry, Ubisoft also said they're restructuring and strengthening the company's HR function. I'm sure they're getting right on that. They're also going to hire a consulting firm to audit and reshape its HR procedures and policies. Yeah, like maybe doing something when people are like, hey, somebody choked me at the company Christmas party. Maybe y'all should look into that.
Just maybe.
Maybe.
I'm no HR pro, but
Yeah, I didn't go to
Yeah.
college for HR, but I feel like I shouldn't get choked at a work party. What do you guys think?
And then HR's like, was it funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it a joke?
In a separate statement, Guillemot said that Ubisoft has fallen short in its obligation to guarantee a safe and inclusive workplace environment for its employees. This is unacceptable, as toxic behaviors are in direct contrast to values on which I have never compromised and never will.
it's your company, dude. Of course
what?
you've compromised on it.
You clearly have.
You don't be the CEO and be completely oblivious, right? Unless he was like willfully ignorant, like, hey, don't communicate anything to me from HR.
Right.
I don't know. I don't want to sling allegations, but why trust the CEO?
You'd think if the top creative person in the company was having these allegations that maybe the CEO would also hear about it.
Monsieur Guillemot, we have some allegations. He's like, la 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 la, I don't want to hear it.
Maybe he was just so taken by Tommy Francois' charm.
Who definitely has like a curled mustache and a bowler hat.
Beret, maybe.
For some reason, just has a baguette. So Guillemot promised changes going forward to strengthen our workplace culture. He also said that it is my expectation that leaders across the company manage their teams with the utmost respect. Probably don't choke each other. Just, just an idea.
Yeah,
That's number one.
Hell yeah, Guillemot, you hold those bad actors accountable starting now.
Now?
We'll get into what exactly the reports of misconduct stated, but first, let's get cozy and talk Mack Weldon.
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by Mack Weldon. Mack Weldon is better than whatever you're wearing right now. It's a premium men's essentials brand that believes in smart design and premium fabrics. They're a one-stop shop for men's basics of all kind. They got socks, shirts, hoodies, underwear, Vespa polos, and 4-way active shorts. They're the longest-lasting, highest quality items in the market right now. Mack Weldon believes in smart design, premium fabrics, and simple shopping. It's going to be the most comfortable underwear, socks, shirts, undershirts, hoodies, and sweatpants that you will ever wear. They also have a line of silver underwear and shirts that are naturally antimicrobial. They eliminate the odor. So not only do Mack Weldon underwear, socks, and shirts look good, they perform well too. It's perfect for working out, or just working, going on dates, everyday life, you know? Folks at Mack Weldon have created their own totally free loyalty program called Weldon Blue. Level 1 gets you free shipping for life. Once you reach level 2 by spending $200, Mack Weldon will start giving you 20% off every order for the next year. Mack Weldon was kind enough to send me some products. I got some boxer briefs, I got some regular boxers, I got some sweatpants, t-shirt. Right now I think my favorite product is probably the Ace sweatpant. It's got some nice zippers on it, so you know, I can go do laundry, throw my keys in there, don't have to worry about them falling out of in the elevator, anything like that. So for 20% off your first order, visit mackweldon.com/inside, enter promo code INSIDE. Again, 20% off your first order, mackweldon.com/inside, enter promo code INSIDE. Thank you, Mack Weldon, for sponsoring today's show.
Like we said, Ubisoft has been dealing with multiple reports of misconduct. Last month, Assassin's Creed Valhalla creative director Ashraf Ismail stepped down from his role at Ubisoft following allegations of an extramarital affair and sexual misconduct with fans.
Yeah, several other Ubisoft employees have been accused of abusive and predatory behavior too. It's quite the list and a huge mess to say the least. Definitely sounds like it's been happening on a company-wide scale. So yeah, heads are starting to roll.
All these
Yeah.
video game companies that I bet these guys have never felt power before in their lives, and now that they have even a small inkling of it, they're like, I'm gonna be a disgusting human being.
Or it's just when we've brought in some VC guys and former hedge fund managers, and they're like, what's up, f***os? I'm so excited to make a game.
Yeah, we honestly haven't seen a scandal this widespread at a company since Riot Games a few years ago, which brings us to yesterday's big Forward presentation, which basically seemed like everything they would have announced at E3.
But just before the presentation, Ubisoft put out a statement saying, yeah, we're not going to mention any of the sexual harassment stuff. They wrote that the presentation, quote, comes during a time of big internal change, adding, because all the content has been pre-recorded, we wanted to recognize that the issues we're currently dealing with won't be addressed directly at the show. Yeah, it was recorded ahead of time. There's no way we could put in something.
I don't know. In my opinion, I think it would be weird if they put it in the show. I don't know. Am I alone in that feeling? If it was just suddenly video games.
I don't know how it would have been done right. It more just feels weird to have put on this big conference that is basically celebrating and hyping everyone up about your company.
I feel like it would have been weirder if they hadn't, if they weren't doing anything about it. Like if the allegations came out and like they hadn't done anything. Like at least they're doing something.
They're
I'm
definitely
not standing
doing
up
stuff,
for them.
yeah.
Like
No,
I don't
yeah,
know.
of course not.
I'm just not sure. So they did go on to say that they still have significant work to do and will provide more updates soon. Of course, another way to say that is that they hope that most people watching aren't even aware of all the behind the scenes stuff. That is kind of true, because then you're holding this big conference and just hoping that no one's gonna ask twice.
Yeah, in spite of all the recent events, they could have delayed it or have someone give a brief statement and edit it into the beginning, but no, they just went for it because I need my Watch Dogs Legion
Hell
gameplay.
yeah.
I need the Watch Dogs thing that doesn't even work.
We got to look at a bunch of new stuff. Watch Dogs Legion, that's coming out October 29th. It's got a unique mechanic where you can play as anyone you see. That's the thing they've been kind of like showcasing the most of that. And other big news, Sam Fisher made a return. But not a new Splinter Cell game. It's a free-to-play mobile game. Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. Who's excited? Who's
It's
ready?
a match 3.
No! So there is also a battle royale game called Hyperspace that's currently in open beta for PC. Awesome,
I
another
think it's
one of those.
Hyperscape.
Oh, well. There was a battle royale game called Hyperscape that's currently in open beta for PC. Awesome, another one of those. We also finally saw gameplay of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Actual gameplay this time. Pretty cool. There was lots of sword fighting and stealth killing. If you've played an Assassin's Creed game, you know what you're getting here. It's due out November 17th. Actually kind of excited about that. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm playing Odyssey right now, really enjoying it. It's too long, but it's good.
Just like,
Go ahead.
Bring it home.
Go ahead.
wait, every time I'm about to say something, my harassment training kicks in.
And we got a big cinematic trailer for Far Cry 6 that's definitely confirmed all the leaks. We saw the actor Giancarlo Esposito portraying a Latin American dictator, El Presidente, in the fictional country of Yara. In the trailer, the dictator known as Anton Castillo tutors his son Diego about the importance of keeping your people in line and hand grenade safety. A very, very on-the-nose visual metaphor. So Far Cry is chugging along as expected.
No
Same as
subtlety in that metaphor.
No, not even a little bit.
But yeah, during the entire presentation, there was no mention of all the behind-the-scenes turmoil going on at Ubisoft, which on a corporate level might make sense, but if you know the backstory, again, like we said, it seemed a little bit strange. Then this morning, Ubisoft's stock price was down. The last time I checked, it was more than 5%. You gotta believe that some of that has been fallout from the abuse scandal. Yeah, if like a bunch of top people are leaving, that's gonna mess with the stock price.
Yeah, they were definitely trying to walk a line during the presentation Sunday, focus on the games, not all the horrible stuff going on behind the scenes. It's definitely true that most gamers probably have no idea what's going on at Ubisoft, or don't care.
That's
maybe more
also-
likely.
yeah.
But it's a scandal that is not showing any signs of going away either. I mean, there's certain dumb that you can sweep under the rug, like storytelling or jokes or whatever in games that in hindsight are like, oh, this is super racist. There's like certain things that I feel like are easier to ignore by a major company than massive assault allegations within the company. Not that you should ignore those things. Let me be clear about that.
You know what else gets swept under the rug? Tommy
that?
Francois.
He's out the door before the rug even gets swept under a new
man.
alias. Johnny Mexico.
The game is set in a fictional Latin America country called Yara, which seems to be pretty clearly patterned after Cuba. Sick. Let's all be communists.
Yeah, the listing describes it as a tropical paradise frozen in time. So that seems to be a little bit of a reference to Cuba. Remember, because they were all like, had to drive around their 1950s Chevy